exposed in the history of Namibia by a foreigner, and not even a Namibian, Mr. Johan Stefansson. And then, so I would like to make the point that there are some dangers in moving towards the context or moving towards the direction of socialism within the global context of totalitarianism, in terms of the global context where the difference between socialistic and capitalistic countries are reducing, and also the socialistic tendencies in Namibia and South Africa. That is basically a dysfunctional state already, and on the verge, if not already, a failed state. So be very cautious about socialism and about the finer distinctions of socialism between different countries. Now, if you look at the social welfare state in the Nordic countries, are very successful, and they are some of the highest on the Human Development Index and on Economic Freedom Index by Fraser. They're listed top-notch every time. And one of the reasons is that they have a flexible labor market. That makes it very easy for the private sector to hire the best people on a short basis, to make quick decisions, to respond to the world market in terms of product and services on a very small lead time, and which is not the case in a country where it doesn't have a flexible labor market like Namibia. Then secondly, they have free market, the socialistic countries, as free as you can get, and also free trade. And these three distinctions make the Nordic countries that are social welfare countries extremely progressive in terms of economic development and human development, even more so than the America, for example. So when people look at the welfare or the wealth of creation in the Nordic countries, they should not think it's because of socialism, but because of these three differences. So as the devil is in the detail, the beauty is also in the detail, and make a distinction between social welfare states, social extreme totalitarianism, moderate totalitarianism, lighter forms of socialism, like in Argentina with a very high inflation rate, collapsing of the economy, and so on. And be very careful with labeling in terms of identity politics, wokeness, cancel culture, in terms of critical race theory, in terms of victimhood with a transgender, gay, lesbian, queer plus development that is also based on victimhood. And then these can probably be connected to all the areas of wokeness and victimhood, where people go back to the past and claim compensation in terms of xenophobia, genocide, and so many other discriminations of the past that create resentment and not focusing on the future, and create the idea that socialism is progressive, which is not. So with this video, I trust you will understand now better the different variations of socialism and the big differences between socialism and capitalism based on the principle of free will that makes capitalism possible, which is not the case in a socialistic country where it doesn't have free will, where it doesn't have free markets, where you may have capitalistic principles to some extent, like in China, but not in terms of choice, in terms of what you produce, where you produce, when you produce it, and how you produce it. So thank you very much, and thank you for looking at my video, and leave a comment on my website. If you feel so, I will appreciate that. Thank you very much.